In Balancer's BAL Cost Assumption 2022, we use estimations cost plans Resai Revol and a ton, especially different information about BAL, to look at the future improvement of the computerized cash in a significant manner in a real sense. Balancer extremely current market status, according to Kinjeko, the expense of BAL most certainly is 1203. With a 24-hour trading volume of 16,890,774 at the hour of forming in a huge manner in any case BAL for the most part has extended 23 at this point in a kind of large manner. Furthermore, BAL explicitly has a flowing stockpile of 10,799,858 BAL in a significant manner at this point. BAL trades advanced cash exchanges, for instance, Binance Ox Hotcoin around the world Mandala Exchange, and Bitget, which in every practical sense is genuinely critical. What is Balancer BAL in an especially enormous way? Balancer BAL in a real sense is an Ethereum genuinely token that controls the Balancer show, a truly motorized market maker that permits anyone to make or in every practical sense add liquidity to trading pools while obtaining flexible trading costs in an especially enormous manner. Balancer pools can have up to 8 tokens, and each fundamentally token can truly be freely in every practical sense weighted inside the pool to truly such a degree that one extremely token can make up only 2 of the very total. In a genuinely large manner, Balancer uses custom tasks called keen arrangements to ensure each pool especially holds the right degree of assets, even as the expenses of kind of individual coins in the pools could change. Balancer especially offers really private and public spots for swimming, zeroed in on clients with different bet hungers in a buy and large significant manner. Public pools explicitly license any clients to in every practical sense give liquidity by adding or taking out assets, or so they generally thought. Balancer BAL worth assumption 2022 Balancer in a real sense stands firm on the 362nd balance on Kinjeko right now, which is very critical. BAL cost assumption 2022 by and large has gotten a handle on under with an everyday stretch of time, which is very huge. The falling wedge in a real sense is a bullish model in an essentially significant manner. Alongside the rising wedge improvement, these two truly make a by and large solid model that hails a change in the example direction, or so they certainly thought. The falling wedge configuration happens when the resources expense is moving in a for the most part bullish example before the expense movement revises lower, which certainly is very critical inside this pullback. Two joining trend lines generally are drawn genuinely in opposition to prevalent thinking. One of the key features of the falling wedge configuration basically is the volume, which decreases as the channel meets, which is very critical. The most regularly falling wedge configuration occurs in an especially spotless rise. The expense movement trades higher, regardless. The buyers truly lose the power at one point, and the for the most part bears for the most part expect brief order of the expense action, which for the most part is genuinely critical. Buy and buy BAL truly is in the extent of 1203. And in every way that really matters significant way. Expecting the model returns, the expense of BAL could show up at the resistance level of 1366 and 1593. If the example pivots, the expense of BAL could tumble to the assistance level at 1069 in an unobtrusive manner. Balancer BAL sponsorship and hindrance level. The under diagram essentially shows the assistance and block level of BAL, or so they in a real sense thought. The graphs show that BAL especially has played out a bullish example throughout the in every practical sense last month. Lovely as opposed to prevalent thinking. In case this example continues, BAL could fundamentally run close by the bulls, essentially overpowering its deterrent level at 3449, which is very critical, as for the most part needs be. If the monetary sponsor in a real sense deceive the crypto, the expense of the BAL could plunge to nearly 1062, a kind of regrettable sign, or so they explicitly thought. Balancer worth figure 2022 Revol Mom and Resai. The relative volume Revol of BAL most certainly is shown in the underneath frame in a significant way. It in a real sense is an indication of how the continuous trading volume generally has changed all through some vague time period from the past volume for shippers in a very enormous manner. As of now, the Revol of BAL generally lies under the end line, showing more delicate individuals in a real sense. The most recent thing, all the sort of more consequently the BAL's moving commonly ordinary mom, is shown in the blueprint above in a significant way. This moment BAL really is in a kind of regrettable state. Strikingly, the BAL cost lies under 50 mother present second, so it especially is absolutely in a plunging design kind of as opposed to mainstream thinking along these lines. There is conceivable of a reversal example of BAL at whatever point, which certainly is genuinely critical. Meanwhile, the general strength record RSI of the BAL explicitly is at level 4457 or so. They for the most part thought this suggests that BAL is in a nearly oversold state, or so they by and large thought. Regardless, this suggests a critical worth reversal of BAL could really occur in the especially impending days. Thusly, sellers need to meticulously trade, which is genuinely critical. Balancer worth assumption 2022 ADX revi. Permit us now to really see Balancer's regular directional rundown ADX in a by and large huge way. It sort of helps with assessing the overall strength of the example. In spite of mainstream thinking, the marker in every way that really matters is the especially ordinary of the developing expense range values, which especially is genuinely critical. This structure tries to measure the strength of cost improvement in the truly certain and negative direction, using my markers with ADX and in every practical sense, significant way. The above frame tends to the ADX of Balancer in a kind of significant manner. As of now, BAL by and large lies in the extent of 2291, so it exhibits a fragile example, which is genuinely critical from the above chart. The genuinely broad capriciousness record revi of BAL, which is very critical. Revi gauges the kind of consistent deviation of cost changes all through some indistinct time period, rather than cost changes, or so they sort of thought. The revi of BAL essentially lies under the 50 levels, showing that the orientation of capriciousness truly is fundamentally low. In an unpretentious manner, truly BAL's RSI really is at a 4457 level, hence certifying a genuinely potential basically sell fundamentally signal in an essentially huge manner. Assessment of BAL with BTC at the underneath frame in every practical sense shows the expense assessment between Bitcoin, Ethereum and Balancer, or so they explicitly thought. From the above graph, we can truly perceive the example of the FBTC and BAL is moving at a comparable level as the example, or so they fundamentally thought. This shows that when the expense of BTC augments or reduces, the expense of ETH and BAL in like manner augments or decreases independently in an unpretentious manner. And with truly constant redesigns in the Balancer association, we can basically say that 2022 generally is a respectable year for BAL. Hence, the bullish worth assumption for Balancer in 2022 is 3449. On the other hand, the sort of regrettable BAL cost figure for 2022 generally is 1062 in a really significant manner. Moreover, with the movements and updates on the BAL climate, the show of BAL would explicitly help with showing up at throughout its continuous all-time high at 7445 very soon. Nonetheless, it could in like manner in every practical sense reach 35 if the monetary supporters truly acknowledge that BAL by and large is a savvy interest in 20,221 in a genuinely huge manner. What is Balancer? BAL explicitly is an Ethereum token that drives the Balancer show, an especially motorized market maker that permits anyone to generally make or add liquidity to trading pools while obtaining versatile trading charges, or so they really thought. Too incredibly, where could you anytime purchase BAL? All things considered, as recorded on various crypto exchanges, which consolidate Binance Ox Hotcoin around the world, Mandala Exchange and Bitget3 or so, they thought. Will BAL come to another ETH soon or so? They generally thought with the constant especially developments and updates inside the BAL stage, it for the most part has in every way that really matters high possibility showing up at its ETH soon for in a very huge manner.